Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube NFL prediction segment. I'm going to be giving you my preview and analysis of the 2019-2020 NFC Wild Card matchup, which pits the Seattle Seahawks against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I'm going to take Seattle this one in a tight contest. I could really see this going either way. Um, Philadelphia has been on a roll. There's no doubt about it. They've been on a little bit of a rampage. They've won 4 consecutive games, and Seattle goes in there reeling a little bit. They lost 2 straight. They lost the last game as a controversial ending at the end of that game against the 49ers. I don't think the Seattle offensive player actually got in the end zone. I think the right call was made. But that being said, going back to the preview, I mean, you look at their offenses are actually pretty comparable. I mean, Philadelphia's averaging about 24 points per game, Seattle about 25. Now, Carson Wentz didn't exactly have a stellar performance in that meeting they had earlier this season against Seattle, but Philadelphia has some reason to be confident. They played Seattle very competitively in that game. The score, I think, was like 17-9 Seattle. And Seattle did not really look like a very formidable team. This was a team, when they were sitting at, Seattle was 11-3. And when they were at 11-3, I think there were a lot of people who thought, oh, they're going to go 13-3. They might get the top seed in the NFC, but they faltered of late. But however, speaking of formidable, though, Seattle is a formidable road team. They are 7-1 on the road this season. Philadelphia is 5-3 at home. Now, Philadelphia, they have again won 4 consecutive games, but it really, I mean, the competition may not have been stellar. They did beat the Giants in like 2 of those games, and the Redskins in another one. So we got to see what happens in this particular game. Philadelphia did upset the Chicago Bears last season. It could happen against Seattle. It will, since it is at Philadelphia. This is part of the reason why I think this game is almost a coin flip. Considering Seattle hasn't played well in recent time, Philadelphia has actually played well. They are at Philadelphia. They're going to be inspired in front of that home crowd, of course. But the thing about this, too, is Seattle has dominated the Eagles in recent time. They have won 5 consecutive games against the Eagles, and the Eagles have averaged like 12.5 points in those 5 defeats to Seattle. They need to get their offense going in this game. They may be able to exploit a Seattle Seahawk weakness, and that could very well be defending running backs that transition into receivers. In other words, running backs that are generally running backs, but that can pose a dual threat, that can actually go out and catch the ball. Those are when those running backs turn to receivers. Seattle is not always the best at defending them, and that's what the Eagles probably need to exploit in this particular game. Seattle, as far as the turnover differential goes, they're plus 12. Philadelphia is -3. And the thing about it is the Seattle defense, I think, is just going to be a little bit more opportunistic in this game, and I see them winning the turnover battle. And that's part of the reason I see them winning the game. Both these teams are decimated and ravaged with injuries right now. Philadelphia might be a little bit more banged up than Seattle, and but the thing is, this is a Seattle team. I just don't see them losing 3 consecutive games with Russell Wilson at the helm. They have their good defender. I believe he's healthy with Bobby Wagner. This is a game which will be very tight. Wouldn't surprise me if it comes down to the final possession. Philadelphia has played with a lot of heart and passion over these 4 weeks again. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull this one out, but I think this is going to be Seattle win by like 3 or 4 points. I see it being similar to the first game. You might see a little bit more offense than we did in the first game of the season. So I just wanted to basically say that the Seattle Seahawks, even though they're not obviously as good as they had been back like in that Super Bowl year they had and the year after that, which they lost to New England, they're still a very competitive team. They could be dangerous in playoffs. I think that they're good enough to get this one win anyway. So I'm going to take Seattle to win this one on the road in this game. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube NFL prediction segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.